because we allow the residuals of our ancestors. We allow the residuals of commercials and advertisement. We allow the influences of materialism. We allow the influences of the collective all around me, thinking, if I'm just heard, what is your greatest complaint? Are you loved? Are you heard? Are you seen? It is the biggest preconceived notion in the decline of mankind. As long as you see yourself, that the collective is you and I, you will not be heard or seen or feel loved. How could we place that burden onto another human being thinking they could satisfy us? When we rearrange our ideology, our perception, and says, how could I become the dominant creating force of my own life? Men that have attained great wealth, or women of great wealth, you'll find that there are many areas in their life that they have become extremely bankrupt. They are self-absorbed. They are selfish. Are they? Don't they see that this universe is purely for their advantage? Do they maybe have the right perception? I am not simply saying that their personality has the right disposition, but doesn't a rich man or a rich woman see that this is her domain? Does she fall into the pecking order of the cave? She does not. He does not. Church and governments put you all into this pecking order. How could you possibly find union with the inner self if we are all standing in line, waiting to be loved, seen, heard, find success, find emotional abundance, find financial abundance? If we're all standing and praying to the universe, hoping and praying, what the dickens is going on? You are the collective of consciousness. This is your holodeck of creation. But you do not know that you are the creator. Because as long as we see ourselves, that we stand in line, your system from government to banking, you all stand in line, you all get a number. This is done to keep this type of behavior and order so that we remain primitive as a caveman. Why couldn't a department store, or why couldn't a bank? Why couldn't a different system be created? Why do we all stand in order? Why are we stand in judgment at a church or a government? Because it keeps the internal system that we are ordinary beings and that we must follow the ideology of the caveman, that we are all stuck together like a bunch of caca. Instead of, I am a single cell connected to the collective. And the collective is all these layers of consciousness. The collective is, I am the creator of this holodeck. And in this holodeck, I can create emotional healing. I can create spiritual healing. I can create financial healing. But as long as I live within the false perception that I'm just the average Joe, connected, hoping in line, hoping it's my turn, hoping, why do you think that Hollywood actors make such an obscene amount of money? Terribly, I mean, I'm certainly not trying to burst anybody's bubble, but let's keep it real. Are they that terrific? What would happen if Jesus walked down? Would they have to give him $1 trillion for his performance? It is odd, but they are so consumed by their belief, not all, but many. I'm it, I'm it, I'm it, I'm it, I'm it, am I. And so what's happened is, can we repetitively convince the reptilian brain that I'm it, I'm brilliant, I'm brilliant, I'm brilliant, I'm brilliant, I'm brilliant, I'm brilliant, and eventually, yeah, we become brilliant. This is the deepest illness within America, within the world. We believe that if we go me, 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 it will be my turn. Wrong. If I see that I am a part of the collective and I am the creator created me and I am the creator, and that I, as an individual, are connected to the collective, not each other, would I not be able to create great success, great peace, great love, great abundance? Would I become mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, financially healed? The answer is yes, because my attachment in the ownership is disappeared. But a part of caveman is our addiction of ownership. Ownership over each other, ownership of money and power, ownership. We all want to control and own and control our mind. Control everything. So, when you become a seeker, when you are a yogi, or are you a yogi? You are a yogi, a seeker, because this entire week you have begun to experience layers of consciousness. You are a seeker. You are liberating yourself. You are changing the paradigm of perception. You are coming out of the false perception that the collective is each other instead of the universe. And when we become a mad lover of God and a great seeker, a great lover of the Kundalini, and we become liberated. But as long as emotions define us, as long as we do not develop the skills of taking our seeing and hearing and tasting and smelling and touching and put that aside throughout meditation, park it on the bench, awaken the inner senses, really awaken them. How? Well, you have already. Why? Because you allowed the breath to become prana. Your breath was not just a breath. Your breath became prana. That is how you awaken the inner senses. When we as an individual become aware, we cannot take out my hearing, or take out my seeing, or take out. We can't have that kind of power. That is ludicrous. However, if I fall within the abode of silence, if my breath becomes pure prana, and I fall within that prana, I merge within that prana, do my outer senses become quiet? Do I awaken my inner senses? Do I see reflections of the inner self? Indeed, I do. So, when we understand about left hemisphere and the right hemisphere, when we understand about the lobes, when we understand about the reptilian brain, all the things that you learned this week, when you begin to understand that these layers of consciousness and universes, it sounds strange because you don't really fully understand, but eventually you'll begin to understand that.